Hey everybody, we're back. Hello again. It's time for another chemotherapy update. It's been a while, and this one comes with some good news. So let's get right to that. Um, the week before last, I had my first PET CT scan. That's where they can see everything inside your body. The first one of those I had since diagnosis, since I started the chemo treatments. And at that point, it was after the second chemotherapy treatment and before the third, just before the third one. And the results of that scan were that all of the tumors had been reduced in size by 80 to 90%, and they were not active. They're not growing. Not sure if they're even alive. So that's awesome news. The doctor calls that a full response, which the doctor said was the best possible result that you could hope to get at this point. And the cancer can be considered to be in remission already at that point. So fantastic news. But although we're winning, that doesn't mean we're gonna let up. So I'm still gonna do all 6 of the chemo treatments, just like the original plan, because the goal, remember, is to kill that last cancer cell, and that probably hasn't happened yet, even though we're off to a good start. The night that I got that news, I did celebrate a little bit for the first time. And I did that by surprising my mountain bike buddies and showing up at their after ride gathering spot, and had a beer with those guys. Just one, outdoors, socially distant, all that stuff, totally safe. That was the first beer or alcohol of any kind that I had since sometime in April, I think, and it's probably the last one that I will have until around, I don't know, Thanksgiving maybe, something like that. It tasted good, but really, but even better than that was just being out there, hanging out with the guys again, and socializing and seeing good people. Was awesome. And I know everybody, I'm not the only one that's suffering from isolation right now. It's a weird time. In a way, because of that, it's kind of a good time to deal with what I'm doing. It better be a good time, because this is the time that I have cancer. So we're doing this. So like I said, since my last update, I've had the second chemotherapy treatment as well as the third one. I had the third one on Friday the 10th, which was a week before this last Friday. And it's starting to become a little bit routine now. I know what to expect. Basically, life sucks for 4 or 5 days after the treatment. And then you start to turn the corner and start to feel better. And then, after a week past, like where I'm at now, a week and a few days past that treatment, you're starting to feel pretty good, and can start to get, every day is better. So it's great in that regard. After my second treatment, I was really feeling strong in like the last week and a half, and I was starting to exercise more. I went back to running as well as some of the bike riding. I was running 3 to 4 miles every other day, and walking the dog for about an hour every day, and really enjoying that, because just getting out and just kind of being free a little bit. And now that we're getting closer to that middle stage of the third chemo treatment, I'm starting to feel good and exercising a little bit more, and I may get back to that level again here pretty soon. But I did have to cut out the running, because I started to have a lot of foot pain, and it felt just like an injury that I had in the past called plantar fasciitis, which is really no fun and takes a long time to get over. I think I've nipped that in the bud, but I've been mostly just riding the bike and maybe doing some walking. Um, but just like I've said before, exercise makes me feel better, and it takes a lot of discipline to exercise because my body's always fighting it, especially in that first week when I'm really down. My body's telling me, you got to go lay down, you got to go to sleep. But then if I do a good sweat for 30 to 60 minutes, it just makes everything better. Everything, appetite, sleep, everything feels better. Um, one of the things that I hate the most about the chemotherapy symptoms are the mouth. I call it yuck mouth. It just gives me a bad taste in my mouth like all the time, and I walk around like just with this yucky face. It's like you ate something rotten and you can't get the taste out of your mouth. And it gets better, after you get a week or so past it, but it's hard for a while, and that causes food to taste different and not in a good way. And I during that time I brush my teeth like 3 or 4 times a day, and rinse my mouth and stuff, which is they say that's good. Um, but it helps for a little while, half hour or whatever, and then the yuck mouth starts to set in again. And also, I've got some of the usual symptoms with chemotherapy, some of the usual side effects like vertigo, nausea. Although I haven't been vomiting, so that's good. But appetite's bad during that tough time, the first week. Then after that, it gets better. I've had some insomnia problems, probably side effects of some of the drugs that they have me take. But it's frustrating when you're really tired and then you can't sleep. I'm sure you felt that when you've been sick at times. I've also had some tingling in my fingertips and my thumbs, and they say that's a normal nerve problem called neuropathy. I haven't had too much of that so far, so hopefully it's not going to be a permanent thing. For some people it is. But overall, going pretty well. So the reward for all this success is more chemotherapy, not just what we already talked about, but a bonus round. What it is I'm going to be doing some additional chemo treatments to protect or prevent against potential recurrence of the cancer relapse that could set in my brain or in my spinal column, central nervous system. So this time the chemo drugs need to be injected into that central nervous system through a spinal tap, and that needs to be done four times. I'm going to have 4 treatments, which are 3 weeks apart, and first one's going to start soon, like in the next week or two. This is called intrathecal chemotherapy, and the drug that they're going to use is called methotrexate. This is going to reduce the chance, it doesn't eliminate the chance, but it reduces the chance of a recurrence of the lymphoma cancer in my brain or central nervous system. The odds of that recurrence happening like that are about 3% if I don't do the extra chemo treatment, and it reduces it down to like 1 to 2% if I do it. Those aren't great numbers, but that's what we got. There will be temporary side effects from that, kind of like my chemo that I'm doing right now, but they tell me it's not as bad, so we'll see. Some people have had some serious side effects, some permanent nerve damage, and even paralysis caused by that, but those are extremely rare. And like I said, this is going to be done with a spinal tap, and the reason for that is because there's a blood-brain barrier, and the chemo drugs don't that I'm taking now intravenously, they don't penetrate that and actually make their way into the central nervous system. Um, so we have to do this other treatment. The way it works is they tap into the spinal column and the lumbar, the lower back, uh, just like an epidural, if you know what that is. They tap into there and they remove about 6 cc's, which is a very small quantity of the spinal fluid, and they replace it with the methotrexate. Uh, and then after that, they have you lay still. I think you lay on your back for like 2 hours so that that stuff can flow and into and around the brain. Um, so, I'm not thrilled about having to do, a spinal tap to inject chemicals into my central nervous system, and it is optional. I don't have to do it, but and that's also going to extend this marathon that I'm in. But those aren't, being scared or not wanting to be uncomfortable is not good enough reason. I want to throw everything at this. I want to use every tool available. So hopefully I never have to do this again. So we're already in the battle. We're already here. So let's go ahead and go to the deep end. So that'll be starting soon, like I said. On to a more serious topic that's everybody's favorite, hair. Last time we talked, there was a little bit more up there. There's not much left to talk about, right? And you're probably thinking, yeah, that skullet thing, that was fun while it lasted, but it's long gone now. Well, that's where you're wrong. See, a good skullet, it doesn't go away easy. It doesn't run away from a little bit of cancer. It just gets longer and stronger. This one's getting a little bit blonder too. So here we are. This is going to continue to be fun. I'll tell you a story about the original skullet. Hopefully I didn't tell you this last time. I was getting ready to go for a run with the kids, and that was after we'd cut it that way, and one of them said, "Aren't you gonna put on a hat?" And I was like, "No way, dude! I'm rocking the skullet. Let's go!" And off we went. And that day on the run, I did see one of the neighbors and stopped and said hi, and I'm sure he was thinking that the cancer had probably already infiltrated my brain. But that's what makes this fun. It's been kind of weird being bald. It's kind of an adjustment. I hadn't thought about it, but like I'm still kind of shocked when I look in the mirror sometimes. I notice when a cool breeze blows, like my head's like sensitive and feels it, especially sleeping at night with the windows open. If cool breeze blows. Sometimes if I'm sitting in a chair that's like leather, or like in the car, set my head back, it feels weird on the back of my head. It doesn't feel right. But it is pretty handy in the morning. I pop out of bed and just ready to go. I don't have to worry about any hair. And I rarely have to shave anymore either. About once a week now. That may stop. I don't know. At some point, we'll see. So yeah, that's where that is. Another thing some people are interested in is drugs and hair. Obviously, I've been taking a lot of drugs and about to take some more. So far, I'm on steroids. I've tried THC, CBD. I was treated with fentanyl at one point. That was pretty weird. and whatever, dozens of other things. Now I'm about to add meth to that list. Methotrexate, like I told you. So if my next update comes to you from Antioch and my teeth are falling out, you know that maybe the meth treatments didn't go as well as we thought. Otherwise, we're gonna look forward to getting back to normal soon. Not super soon, but pretty soon. And everybody asks, what can I do? How can I help? Here's one: skull it. Jump on board. You can get in early before this trend actually really starts to take over the nation. Let's do this together. You can't imagine how fun it is. Ladies, don't feel left out. That means you too. All right. Thanks again for all the love, all the attention, all the check-ins. I feel the love. It does help. Prayers help. We'll take it all. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.